into the jungle, hungry wild animals. No more hesitating. We're legends in the making. Gravity escaping, light speed breaking. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. One for the morning, a two for the show. So buckle up, there's no telling where we're gonna go. A glory and fame, a silver and gold. So call us outlaws, leave the fortune for the bold. No more hesitating. We're legends in the making. Gravity escaping, light speed breaking. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. Oh yeah. A 5-4, a 3-2-1. We're gonna fly. We're headed straight for the sun. 5-4, a 3-2-1. We're gonna fly straight for the sun. No more hesitating. We're legends in the making. Gravity escaping, light speed breaking. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. It's explosive. You can't control this, no. I got metal running through my bones. A resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on a battlefield. A survivor, never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked. No victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat on my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. You can't control this, I'm explosive. You can't control this, it's 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 explosive.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new Click It RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at Click It RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Looking to the inside of Turner, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway, nearly does.
Last night the track was very slick. You know, we had 2 good grooves.
But anyway, just another some of that.
There's people in the stands. That means there's people watching.
Little short track racing for you for the next round of the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series. We're at Richmond Raceway in the virtual Commonwealth. iRacing on LSRTV. And tonight is the Virginia is for Lovers. To win the Wesley. Hope you had a good start to your week so far. Jason Rockefeller is alongside. Charles Wooten is pushing the buttons as always. And my goodness, Jason, where are the cars?
I think right now they might be just hugging, hanging out in the garage area, stuff like that, figuring out what they're going to do here with these 8 trucks they got going on here tonight at the Richmond Raceway. Always a great track to run at. No matter how many cars, though, trucks, whatever you want to call them, that run here. This track is very demanding for a driver. You have to be very precise with it. I'm looking for this one to be good here tonight.
Yeah, get ready to get to qualifying started here real quickly. Let's take a look at the Hunt the Front TV race information for tonight. No fast repair, 100% fuel on the 1 extra set of tires, twin 50 lappers, and remember, no attempts at overtime, meaning no green-white checker. That's brought to you by HuntTheFront.tv. All right, let's take a look at Kaufman Creative weather conditions, and here it is on the bottom right. Perfect night for racing, Jason. I've got to say that. 76, air temp in the sim, 16 mile-per-hour wind speeds, though. It's going to be windy, though, but the track temp is only 2 degrees warmer than the air temp, which we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this track under the lights is going to be really, really cool compared to what it usually would be in the daytime. And when we have raced in the daytime so far this season, Wesley, we've seen a lot of days where it was around 100 to 90 degrees or more than 100 plus. So it's been really hot, really slick. But these guys get to race under the lights like we did last week in California, the week before that at Iowa. So we pretty much had ideal, great, fantastic racing conditions for these drivers, for these trucks over the last 3 weeks. Now make it 6 races after we complete these 2 here tonight. So obviously, as you look at Michael Garone head into turns 1 and 2 with this 29 machine, a lot more grip coming off these corners for sure, but you still got to be careful, like you see right there, coming off turn number 2. That's a place that will absolutely snap at you, and it will take a bite out of your truck, and you will go right towards the outside wall. Coming off turn 4, it can be a little slick, but with obviously these cooler track temperature conditions here tonight, it's going to be a little bit easier to lay down the throttle and get the power off turn 4.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to keep an eye on that as here comes Ryan Bloom back after being off last week. Of course, ready to see what the 25 can do. Gabriel Ellison launched and got his 50th career win in the Sim Racer Hub Series last week, obviously, at Auto Club. We're ready to see what he can do here tonight at the Richmond Raceway, 3/4 of a mile. The distance of this racetrack, 0.75 or 3/4. Gabriel Ellison still at the top of the board. Here comes Toby Ritters, Clifford, and that Win Racing Click and RV Bomb Speed entry, Chevrolet. And obviously, you know, Jason, he's had some wins, and that's something to work towards for the new year in the Northwest coming up here in the next month or so.
Yeah, it was really cool to see Toby hold off the field at Iowa a few weeks ago, but he doesn't want to have a moment like that coming off turn 4, nearly snapped it loose into the wall. Great job by Toby to be able to recover and save that truck coming off turn 4. Currently second quickest on the board, and not by a huge margin, only back by 8 1/1000ths of a second off of Gabriel Ellison's fastest lap time that currently has the pole here with 6 minutes and 45 seconds to go. So Toby looks to be fast here tonight at Richmond. We'll have to see how he is here in the long run, but definitely Toby been riding a lot of momentum here from late on at the end of 2023 all the way into early 2024.
Nicholas Gowen on the racetrack now in the number 81 machine. See what he can do down the back straightaway. Gabriel Ellison still the top man. Remember, twin 50s here tonight. Twin 50 lappers, which will be interesting, exciting, and fun. Only time here. By the way, remember also, Jason, we take off next Tuesday night. Remember, next Tuesday we're off.
Yeah. And then we head to Daytona International Speedway, and that's going to be really fun for us. And then, obviously, we head into the series finale, obviously, which will be at Chicagoland. 2 fantastic tracks for us here in the next 3 weeks. Obviously, like you mentioned, Wesley, off for Valentine's Day week next week. Obviously, the night beforehand, people, you know, some of these drivers want to go out with their loved ones the night before, the night of. So it's always good to obviously be able to spend some time with their loved ones. And it's going to be fun, obviously. Daytona, wild card. Maybe we'll see some more drivers show up for that one once again. We'll have to see. And then Chicagoland, man, you just got to show up to that one. That track, obviously, I've tooted my own horn about that racetrack. I love that place. It's a great racetrack for me. I always thought it was probably the best mile and a half for these trucks. So we'll have to see what the next 3 weeks holds for us here for the finale of the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series.
And again, next race, the penultimate race on the schedule after being off next Tuesday night will be the admin box duels at Daytona, twin 30 lappers, and of course the finale, the Windy City finale, presented by Aspiration Homes, Chicagoland Speedway, and that'll put the closing chapter on the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series. And again, we're at Richmond Raceway, a little short track racing Friday, Saturday night short track style. Should be a good one. We've got a couple more takers to come out to qualify. We do. And it wouldn't be the same if we didn't have the points man to come out finally, Michael Sturgill.
Yeah, this guy has pretty much got this championship locked up in the bag now for the last few weeks, but he's still out here having fun. Not dominating like we've seen him in the first half of this season. He's kind of had some struggles here and there, had a few issues. You think back, I believe it was at Iowa, he had some struggles. Nicholas Gowen, pretty much his only other competition this season when he's on that racetrack with him last week at Auto Club. Had some trouble in that 81 machine, but then came back to win. I believe it was that second race of the night. Probably the best comeback we have seen all season long by a driver. So it's interesting to see the dynamic duo between Nick Gowen, Michael Sturgill go at it from race to race. We're going to see here, final car to take time. He's got one more set of corners to do it here. Off by 3/10 from the pole, and off turn 4 gets a little bit tight, has to slide up. 21.577 for the man in the number 90 machine. He'll sit podium, though. P3 up on the board, and Wesley, it looks like it's going to be another night where Nick Gowen starts up at the front of this field, but can he stay there?
Yeah, teammates in the Aons Motorsports program with, of course, Michael Sturgill and Nicholas Gowen, by the way, with that win last week at Iowa, did put himself, or excuse me, California, my bad, did put himself in the catbird seat for the most wins of anybody. There has been 8 different winners. There has been 8 different winners in the event so far this year. The most wins is Nicholas Gowen with 5, and of course a tie for second now between Michael Sturgill and Ryan Bloom with 4. All right, we're a few minutes away from getting qualifying done. Looks like there is any more takers. They better come onto the racetrack now. This will let us step away real quick. When we come back, we're going racing in feature 1 from Richmond Raceway in the Virginia is for Lovers on LSRTV.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Welcome back to Richmond Raceway, getting ready for these drivers to prepare for race number 1. Partly cloudy conditions here. Track temp at 77, outside sim temp at 75. And we're ready to go for what it looks to be an exciting, if you will, twin 50s. If we could just get more trucks. Hopefully our goal in 2 weeks, Daytona, hopefully we get 20 trucks for that event. 20 trucks. Do some recruiting. Let's get them to show up. Let's go racing, though, at Richmond. And we're ready to go here in the Virginia is for Lovers. Nicholas Gowen, Gabriel Ellison. Both looking for big wins. Win 6 for, of course, Ellison. Looking for win 51. Gowen looking for win 6 if he gets it done. Points leader, Michael Sturgill. Toby Ritters to the outside, row 2. Row 3 will be Max Steck and Michael Garone Jr. Top 3. Row 4, Bradley Rivers, and of course, Ryan Bloom looking for win 5 on the season. Well, there you have it. 4 rows. Somehow, some way, I hope, Jason, that we'll see some good short track racing, because honestly, the racetrack itself could make this be an exciting event, no doubt.
Turn 4, we've seen a lot with you, Wesley, was actually right here at the virtual Richmond Raceway for the Northwest Truck Series a couple of years ago. So always a special spot in my heart over here at LSRTV to be able to call these races at Richmond. And man, this is going to be an exciting one, hopefully for us up here in the booth, the ones watching as well. And it's Richmond, man. Short track action, short track race. I'm ready to get to it here tonight.
It should be fun. We'll definitely keep an eye on it and see how everything's rolling on as we'll get ready to get this race started. Again, twin 50s. Lights off on the pace truck. 1 to go indication being given. And we'll get ready to go racing here. Again, 50 laps, race 1. The invert will take place, and then they'll come back for that second twin 50. All right. Going looking for his 6th win. He's got the most wins of everybody right now with 5. Gabriel Ellison looking for his 51st win if he pulls it off. That'll be the question right now. Pace truck's in. You see him peeling onto the pit lane in 3, and here comes the field through turn 4, down to the line. Green flag is in the air, and we are underway, and Virginia is for lovers at Richmond. And look at going quickly on the jump on the opening. Go Ellison gives room. Sturgill, points leader, down to the inside. Can't clear him yet. And Jason, they work off turn 4. We complete lap number 1.
Yeah, Goen had a really good exit, a really good start right there in general. Here on lap number 1, heading on to 2 now, back to 1 and 2 though. Ellison all over that back bumper. They are in sync off turn number 2, back to 3. Everybody's starting to get single file as Ellison looks to get to the back bumper of Goen. Back to 3 and 4. He gets a little tight, gets a run. Not enough though. Lap number 3 up on the board as Ellison still looks for a way around Goen in the 1.
Going right now off that second turn, down that back straightaway, 3/4 of a mile. Here in Richmond Raceway, going now back to Ellison. Ellison with Sturgill in tow. Everyone in tall single file now. They work their way back across the stripe, back into the corner into turn 1. I'll tell you, Jason, fans out here, I think the smart thing might do as we're working 4 laps into it is ride and drive. You don't want to do anything aggressive here in the early going, but obviously you've still got plenty of time in a 50-lap race.
Yeah, you really want to keep those right sides on the truck here, especially this early on. You only want to push it for about 3 to 5 laps, then start to tone it down. Dial it back down just a little bit. Save those tires. If you catch somebody while you're still saving, you know that you're doing a better job than that driver in front of you. So really just keep the tires on it. 50 laps around here can go really quickly, but it can also feel very long for a driver. Here goes Ellison, though, looking to make a move to the bottom of Goen. Not enough. Back to 3 as Goen still holds the lead while Ellison tucks back in line by about half a truck length to 1.
Another time down that back straightaway here. Looks like we're going to see Ellison on the inside. Plenty of room being given. Goen opens the door. Sturgill right there in 3rd. Ritters is up to 4th, stuck in the top 5. There you see him right now is Ellison now. Jason to the inside, looking for the lead on the 81 to the back straightaway.
Yeah, and this is everything, too, that Michael Sturgill wants to see out of those guys. Battling side by side just gives him an opportunity to close up, maybe give him a lane to get around on the outside, maybe the inside. So we'll just have to see these two still remaining side by side as they head back in the 1 here on lap number 9. Ellison able to peek out just a little bit. Goen loose up on the top side, and as they head back to 3, give the advantage to Nicholas Goen. Should be able to put the power down off turn number 4, and he will. He'll maintain the lead, but Ellison's still trying to look for the race lead back to 1.
Still got that top spot there going. Ellison, Sturgill, 1, 2, and 3. Looks like the top 6, actually, if you give a little separation from 3rd to 4th. right there with one another as they work their way coming off the corner down to the line. But another lap on the board, obviously, and again, going in the lead, still in his top spot, doing what he needs to do.
And I mean, Gowen's doing a really good job being able to hold off Gabriel Ellison. We saw him go inside not once, but about twice now. Challenge him on the inside. It's kind of the dominant lane, but the great thing about the short track racing here, Wesley, is it's not necessarily a multi-groove racetrack here at Richmond like it used to be back in the day. Remember when they used to put down that code of, I can't even remember what it was, but it made the track a lot blacker, and they stopped doing it at one point, and it made the track a little bit less racy, but it's still the Richmond that we all know and love. Short track style action.
PJ1 or
no, it wasn't
PJ1 or VHT. VHT.
I think it was VHT. I'm not too sure, but they used to coat the entire track with it back in the early 2000s, and at one point they stopped with it. But again, still the same Richmond we know and love. And here at Richmond, when you get up on the outside of somebody like you saw Nick Gowen almost fall right into the clutches of Gabriel Ellison, putting him in kind of a very vulnerable spot, he was still able to fight back up on that top side off these corners. So it's still notable that the outside still does work if you're trying to complete a pass. You just got to be fast enough to do it.
Nick Gowen, Gabriel Ellison, Michael Sturgill Jr., Clifford, Toby Ritters right now, along with Max Steck to the top 5. That's the way it stands. And again, right now, just calm, cool collective around Richmond Raceway. Race number 1. Nick Gowen again, obviously, the Exalta Aeons Motorsports teammate with Sturgill and company. Just kind of being patient, if you will. Looking to try to find that opportunity as Gabriel Ellison. And if Ellison can get around Gowen, he'll go for it. But honestly, as you see, you know, Jason, we're working lap number 17 of 50 right now, closing in on halfway, and that's how fast this race is, honestly. I mean, it can go by very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, this track obviously is really, really fast, being only 3/4 of a mile, and it's really quick, obviously. But as a driver, these laps, they just tick down so slowly. But as a fan, as a commentator or broadcaster, this race can fly by very, very quickly, as you're starting to see it here. And Wesley, I got some little information on that surface. It was sealer back in the day, is what they used to put here on the Richmond Raceway surface. It made the track look a little bit flatter, but also really, really shiny. And that's what they used to put on this track back then, was sealer.
Yeah. Closing in on halfway, another handful of laps, 30 laps to go in race number 1 when they come to the line, 20 laps in. Obviously, Gowen continuing to be the man at the top spot. Gabriel Ellison, Michael Sturgill Jr. Here's Clifford, Toby Ritter. Slowly but surely, Jason, we're starting to see him pull away from that second pack with Bloom, his teammate, and trying to catch the top 3.
Yeah, he's just got to keep the tires on it like we talked about. Toby sounded a little frustrated before. It sounded like to me when we were talking to him earlier, me and Charles, and he just couldn't seem to get something down, it sounded like, in his voice. But it looks like right now he's doing a really good job. You remember back at Iowa, I remember he was asking Ryan Bloom, hey man, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, should I put the power down a little sooner? Do I not? He comes out, he ends up winning at Iowa. So it was really cool to see Toby win. He's definitely in position to possibly get another podium finish here tonight. He's got the capability, he's got the drive. Again, just got to keep the tires on it and be there for the long run.
Again, we're off next Tuesday night. Tuesday night we're off. We'll be making the voyage, if you will, to Daytona in 2 weeks. Ironically, the same or the week after the 500, that Sunday, that Tuesday, will be there. Going, Ellison, Sturgill, 1, 2, 3. Everyone, all single file. Now, I'm understanding the Full Throttle Series will fire up on Wednesday, Valentine's Day. And then, of course, we have also the, excitement that is the Stars and Stripes Racing League. So that's, so the coverage is coming up here. At least the Stars and Stripes Racing League Thursday next week. We'll have, of course, that new Full Throttle Series and Stars and Stripes Racing League and more. Halfway, by the way.
I'm noticing right here, Wesley, that Nick Gowen is still not really able to pull away from Gabriel Ellison. They're still right there in tow. Sturgill's just a little bit faster than Ellison last time around. But Nick Gowen cannot get away from this 27 and 90 machine. Keep an eye on those two, because this 90 machine looks like he's been getting better and better every single lap here. With these last 20 laps, I would not be surprised if Michael Sturgill is able to pass these two and take home the win here tonight in race 1.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Gowen still the leader. Ellison, Sturgill looking down. Max Steck under attack by Brad Rivers. 6th and 7th, and Michael Garone Jr. right there in that mix as well. Good Steck, that's a beautiful looking race truck, honestly, Jason. I've said that a couple of times this year. I like the wrap job. I like the colors that the design was on that 5.
Yeah, very cool looking truck for sure, obviously. I really like Brad Rivers' truck, that 15 machine. It's been really sharp all year long, that U.S. Army colored number 15 Silverado. Always looks good. Or actually, I believe that's a Ford. Yes, it is. It's a Ford F-150. Looks absolutely fantastic. Love the colors. Love that fade-away number on that 15 machine, from black to white and then white to black. It just looks really, really good. Great looking truck there. As you see him trying to look to the bottom on Max Steck. Gets a little loose off turn number 2. Able to save it, though. Coming back to 3.
30 in, 20 to go. Under 20 to go now. Clean and green with no problem whatsoever here. Nick Gowen still in the lead, looking for win number 6 if he can pull it off. Gabriel Ellison right there in second. There's the Steck machine again. Race back entry. Trying to battle along with Brad Rivers. That's probably the best battle, honestly, Jason, on the racetrack. That's why we kind of keep going back and forth to it. And now we pick up your leaders again as here comes Gowen on 4.
Yeah, now he's starting to pull away just a little bit from Gabriel Ellison. Last time around, Ellison a little bit faster, but I think something happened to him. It drifted back to almost about a second gap, and he's falling right into the clutches of Michael Sturgill as they come off turn number 2. But this 81 machine looks really hooked up right now. But hey, one thing that we love about this series, Wes, I know you and I do, is that Saturday short track type feel. They do a double header, a double feature race, double main event, whatever you may call it in your neck of the woods. Revert the field, or invert the field rather, front to back, back to front for race number 2. We're going to see what happens here, because this Nick Gowen machine looks really strong. We're going to have to see if he's able to pick up the swing here in race number 1, coming to 15 to go. Can he drive through the field and be able to pick up 2 in a row here tonight at Richmond?
Yeah, you're exactly right, as of course there will be the invert. Everybody from first will go to last, last to first. Quickly taking care of race 1, and the Virginia is for lovers here at Richmond Raceway. Closing in on 15, under 15 to go down. Going still the hot shoe, and the interval now almost 3/4 of a second back to Ellison, a second back to Sturgill. That's the way they stand right now, coming back down to the line. 13 to go at the strike. And again, going on the quest for another opportunity, and see what happens when the field will be inverted. We've always had this happen this year in a sequence, obviously, Jason, and that is usually the first, if you will, first race, calm, cool, collected, no issues, very quiet. Invert everything, stack them up, re-rack them. Race 2, that's when the action happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we saw last week at the Auto Club Speedway, but really both races, for the amount of trucks that we had, was a fantastic event for us last week in California. Remember, they were California dreaming for sure last week, and that was a fun race to call, those two races. And so far here tonight, obviously, race number 1, pretty tame. Gabriel Ellison back by a little bit more than half a second, so it looks like Nick Owen, if everything goes to plan here, as you look at Rivers, try to get to the bottom of Max Deck again. It's the battle for the 6th position as Michael Garone Jr. Oh, no, there you go! Around goes the 15.
Wow.
In front of the 29, and that will be the yellow. And Wesley, with that being said, remember, back when we looked at the Hunt the Front TV race analysis, 1 set of tires. So will you come in and use them? I'd say you're pretty dumb if you don't, but we're about to see something. Maybe some positions change around here on pit road.
Closed in on 10 laps to go, under 10 to go, and here's a replay of what just went down. Donnelly for that spot. Rivers on the inside to the left rear of Stack. Instead, got loose. He says, I'll help you. Garone Jr. into the back of Rivers, who was already in trouble. And that's why we go to the yellow flag. By the way, let's take a look at the race summary. It's presented by Virginia811.com. And here comes Calvary coming down pit road as well. One caution lap, 2 lead changes. Virginia811.com here. And Jason, you weren't lying. They're taking advantage of that, those opportunity for new tires. Everybody is on pit road, and I mean everybody, all 8.
Well, like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be pretty blunt about it. I mean, you were pretty dumb if you were not coming and take tires and think you were gonna stay or go from the back to the front and expect to hold off everybody. It just wasn't worth it with 8 trucks. You have an equal opportunity if you're in that top 4, to go for this win here. I mean, we're going to have to see. It looks like everybody's going to come out the same way they came in. So no shakeups position-wise, nothing notable. In fact, nobody actually changed positions at all. But with this being said, I mean, this is going to be interesting to see who will be able to go for this win here on Nick Gowen. Will we be able to see Gabriel Ellison go at it on this 81 machine? Will we be able to see Michael Sturgill finally get around those top 2? We're about to see here. Probably going to take the 1 to go this time by and restart with 5 laps to go.
Well. Nick Owen in the top spot right now. That number 81 machine, the Exalta colors. Remember, caution laps count also. Remember that, Jason. We got to emphasize on that. Remember, caution laps count. No attempts at overtime. So we'll come back to green, and it'll be 5 laps to go when we get this race back underway in race 1.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting here, obviously, with 5 laps to go. I mean, Nick Owen took off that initial start. Will he get the restart that he wants here for this, basically this final restart? It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Will he be able to hold off the 27? Will he be able to hold off this number 90 machine? Remember, no attempts at a green-white checkered, so I would say, Wesley, if another caution comes out, race is over. We've seen Nick Owen win races under caution so far this season. We're about to see if it happens this time. Coming to 5 to go here for the restart in race 1.
Ready to come to green. 2 by 2. Going. Great jump on the restart. And he's off into turn 1. Settles down on the bottom. Got a whoa, look.
Oh, we got to go around.
Ryan Bloom in trouble. Ryan Bloom going around. Down to the bottom of the apron, though. No caution on the 22. Here comes the cavalry, though, storming back into turn 1 and 2 now. And he's going to get back rolling away. Ryan Bloom, though, he is out of it. He stayed green, 4 to go.
Wow, crazy. Obviously, the caution would come out, but that's the thing. He was in the back of the field, below the racing surface, not in harm's way. Even if he would have spun out onto the racing surface with nobody around him, iRacing would not have thrown a caution unless the leaders were closer to him or if he would have been turned around on the racing surface in front of people. Thankfully, he wasn't. We're still able to race this thing all the way to the finish, coming to 2 to go. Sturgill looking to take away the second spot from Ellison off turn number 4. 2 laps to go. It looks like this is Nick Gowen's race to lose as they're heading back to 1.
Yeah, right now, just simply in front. The number 81, Nick Gowen, hitting his marks into turn number 3, working on 4. He'll come to the CRN 1 to go. More details at wearecrn.com and the white flag, Jason, into 1.
Yeah, great job by Nick Gowen, but look at this number 90. He is closing the gap. Half a lap to go. He might have to send it, might have to do something to get there, but I believe this is Nick Gowen's race to lose coming off 4.
Yeah, I don't think Sturgill is going to get it going. Winning back-to-back, by the way. And win number 6 of the season for the number 81. Nick Gowen winning race 1 of Virginia is for Lovers here at Richmond. Michael Sturgill Jr. will settle for second. There you see everyone else drop into the apron. They'll get the reset. There'll be an invert. And here you go, Jason. Here's a look at the rundown in race number 1, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got Nicholas Gowen obviously dominating from flag to flag, finishing first. And obviously you look at the rest of the field there, notably too, Toby Ritter's right there in that 4th position too. Another strong run for him halfway through the field. Ryan Bloom, I believe Bloom has told us in the past that short tracks are not really his thing. Comes home 8th tonight in race number 1, but he's going to start on the pole here for race number 2. We're going to see what has to happen here. Maybe his luck can change for that 22 machine.
There you see it. By the way, one more quick look at the race summary again. And, oh, that's right. Well, one caution in the race. That was it. So, all right, coming up, we got your post-race, and we'll grab the drivers on the podium, Nicholas Gowen and others, and we'll get you reset for the invert, race 2. This is SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winner Series from Richmond, Virginia is for Lovers. iRacing on LSRTV. We grab the podium next. Welcome back to coverage of Virginia's for Lovers. Nick Gowen, Exalta Chevrolet, number 81, picking up his 6th win, most now of anybody, with up on 2 of the drivers. And, of course, Nick, what do you think of Richmond, man? You have fun out there. Good show.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a blast, especially early on. Gabe was underneath me. I was doing my best to just try to keep him down there, and but he gave me a good fight, and I think he just lost a little bit of grip there eventually. But yeah, overall good race. I was waiting for the other shoe to fall with the with Michael and Gabe behind me because, I mean, they're two really, really fast guys. So then I just saw the gap opened up there right before the yellow. Yeah, and then that yellow came out, and it was just made things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, Nick, congratulations, man. Obviously, we saw you last week in the first race at Auto Club. You were in the back all night long in race 1, then race 2. You just somehow, some way, man, were able to make it happen. I mean, how do you expect this next race to be? Obviously, despite only being 8 trucks, we've seen how hard it is to pass coming from the back to the front. It doesn't even matter how many trucks there are. What do you anticipate here for Richmond race 2 starting at the back?
I definitely think it's going to be really dicey early on. I mean, it's like it was mentioned before, it's really hard to pass here. So it's I imagine early on there's going to be a lot of trying to get underneath or around somebody pretty quickly. So I think the first 10 laps might be a little interesting to watch and just see how people how it shakes out. So I expect the energy to be a little up there. I mean, it's called the action track after all, so maybe we'll see a little bit more.
Well, Bud, we'll let you go before we do. Thank your sponsors and good luck on the invert in race 2.
All right, thank you. Thanks to the team, Eons Motorsports, Michael, Brad, for racing with me tonight. Thank you guys in the booth, and we'll see you in the next race.
There you go. There's the thoughts, of course, of Nicholas Goen. We'll grab the man that finished in the second spot, and, of course, that was Michael Sturgill. I know you tried so hard to try to make a rundown to catch Goen, just simply ran out of time. But, man, you're taking this race and obviously just, continuing to be consistent to make a run towards the championship.
Yeah, definitely ran out of, I think, a few more laps, and I might have had something Nick. I don't know. Catching him is one thing, passing him is another. Really, the only reason I got around Gabe is he about wrecked getting into one, so that opened the door for me with him. But yeah, just trying to stay consistent and lock this championship up.
And Michael, congratulations, man, on finishing P2. You were really strong there in race number 1. Now that you're going to be starting towards the back, how or what do you need to do better than Nick to make your way up to the front, since you guys are going to be starting on that last row here coming up?
Try to get up front as quick as possible. It's like clean air is helpful. I won't say it's like king, but I'll try to save some tire there for that long run. I got under Gabe like once and couldn't do anything, and then after that I felt like we were all riding in line. So hopefully I can get up front and lead that line.
All right, Michael, before we let you go, man, thank your sponsors and good luck on the invert coming up.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting this thing, Clinton, all the league admins, my teammates at Eons, and Moscow Joe's. I think that
there you go. All right, there's the thoughts of Michael Sturgill, still continuing to be consistent to do what he needs to do to get the points to rack up a possible championship here in the next couple of weeks. And Gabriel Ellison, will grab a word with him of the Toyota number 27. Gabriel, your take of Richmond. A very quiet race, one caution, which is very abnormal. Usually race ones go flag to flag, but looked like on that restart after everybody come to the pit lane to get on new tires, just couldn't get around going.
Yeah, I was happy to see the yellow because on that first long run I was pretty well shot. Nick clearly had the better long run speed than me that time, and so the caution was nice having a shot at it, but I just cooked it in the one real hard and kind of cost myself any chance at going for the lead. I didn't get a great restart anyways, but yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed the racing, especially the first race. I mean, not a lot of side by side, but it was fun being stacked up like that. You know, one mistake and you're right there. So.
And Gabe, congratulations on finishing P3, man. Was running P2 a lot during that first race, and obviously you say you cooked it going into turn number 1. How do you not have? You think you could have probably gotten around Nick, considering the fact that, I mean, he was on the more dominant lane on the inside, but we saw him clear you a couple times when you got to him, when he was up on the top side. How do you think it would have played out if you wouldn't have been able to cook it?
Yeah, I don't know. It'd have been tough for sure. Yeah, he was running a good line there, and it's tough here anyway. So, it probably would have to come with him making a mistake. You never know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens this time.
All right, man. Well, let's on to the next one before we let you go. Thank your sponsors and good luck. Race 2.
Thank you. Yeah, huge thanks to Aspiration Homes and SimRacerHub.com.
There you go. There is, of course, Gabriel Ellison, which, by the way, got his 50th career Sim Racer Hub Challenge win last week at California. Now the invert is set. We'll go back to a commercial break, and when we return, on-track activity, Richmond Raceway, Race 2 of Virginia is for lovers. Nick Gowen, winner of Race 1, can he sweep Richmond? We'll find out at the action track when we come back.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM. Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Looking to the inside of Turner, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway, nearly does.
Last night the track was very slick. You know, we had 2 good grooves.
Anyway, just another some of that.
There's people in the stands. That means there's people watching.
Hi, welcome to Day Motorsports. Come on, check out what we got.
thank you for keeping Day Motorsports in business for over 50 years.
Well, we're back here at Richmond Raceway, the action track, as Nickel Goen called it. Of course, winner of race number 1. Virginia is for lovers. I'm Wesley Outland. Jason Rockefeller is alongside. Charles Wooten is working on RC cars and pressing buttons in the production box as well. Jason, what do you think we're going to see different from race 2 to race 1 here at the 3/4 mile?
Well, I'm finishing up my delicious Oreo cookies right now. I tell you what, I think it's going to be a little bit more interesting for sure, no doubt about it, because you're going to have these guys who were so fast up towards the front, pulled away from the field a little bit, like 3 or 4 trucks, because you had Toby there towards the end. He was catching up, and then they just set themselves apart from the other 4 guys that were running in the back. Now you're going to take those guys, put them in the back like we've seen all season long. Who is going to be able to navigate through those 4 slower trucks from the first race first? Will they even be able to get up towards the front? Remember, we have seen time and time again this season, Wesley, where these drivers will win the race, start at the back for race 2, and then they never make their way back up towards the front. So we could very well see a completely different scenario, completely different podium up here for the end of this one tonight.
Yeah, let's take a look real quickly again at your analysis. As we mentioned, bottom left, again, same as race number 1, Hunt the Front TV, no fast repair, 100% fuel, again, 1 extra set. We saw that come to fruition when we had an accident with Rivers on the front straightaway spinning, and that opened the pit lane with under 10 laps to go for everybody to pit. No attempts at overtime, as we mentioned, and then there's that second 50-lapper. Again, the invert. How important is the invert, Jason, here?
Oh, it's very important because you got guys, like I said, that are going to be starting from that rear of the field that were so fast. They're going to have to make their way up towards the front. That's why I asked Gabriel Ellison, man, what do you got? Or not Gabriel Ellison. I asked Michael Sturgill. I said, well, you're going to be restarting right there in that same row as Nick Goen. What do you got to do to get yourself up towards that front? What do you got to do to make sure you get there before he does so you can have that clean air and so forth? He just says, well, I don't know. It's going to be tough to pass, man. That's the thing. It's going to be tough to pass, so you have to make sure you're getting around these guys very easy. Don't put yourself in bad situations, and you'll be there right for the end of this one for sure.
All right. Well, we're getting them gridded and ready to go racing. Race number 2, Twin 50s in Virginia is for lovers. Jason, you got the honor, my friend, of giving the starting lineup of the Twin race 2 now at Richmond.
I feel so honored. Here we go. Row number 1, Ryan Bloom, Brad Rivers. Guys started the back or finished in the back in race 1. They're going to be up at the front here for the start of race 2. Row number 2, Michael Garone there. Struggled early in practice. Now he'll find himself third on the inside alongside Max Steck on the outside in row 2. Row number 3, Toby Ritters in the number 23. Was kind of fast there towards the end. Gabriel Ellison on the outside trying to rebound for that 51st win here in row number 3. And in row number 4, Michael Sturgill in race 1 of the night. Nicholas Goen, your race winner from just a handful of months ago. This is the pack that I'm circling, or the row that I'm at least circling for the start of this one here tonight, Wesley. We're going to see which of those drivers can start up here towards the front of this field. Or not start, but finish up towards the front.
So it's go time, Richmond. We've got a couple of preliminary laps before we do get ready to turn them loose. Another 50-lapper. Field. The one to go indication being given. Ryan Bloom, remember, Ryan Bloom spun on the restart of race number 1. Jason, as we get ready to come to green, would you say that as good of a truck Bloom always has, he could be in the proverbial catbird seat to get this win here?
Yeah, possibly, but remember, we talked about it just a handful of moments ago, Wesley, towards the end of that conclusion to the first race here on our broadcast, that Ryan Bloom, isn't really that comfortable on the short track, so we're going to have to see what can this Monster Energy Silverado do up at the front of this field. What kind of competition will he provide up at the front? We're about to find out.
Let's do it. Field in the Geico restart zone. Initial start. Green is out. Race 2 underway in Richmond, Virginia. It's for lovers. Final race before a nice week break next week, and then it's on to the final 2 of the year, Daytona and Chicagoland. And look at Bloom down at the bottom, stacked up high. Garone Jr., plenty of room given. Now Ellison on the top. And this goes to the inside as they work into one. And we're what?
Yeah, Ellison nearly just ran into the back of Max Steck heading into turns 1 and 2, but you could just see that number 27 SimRacerHub.com machine is flying through this field despite starting in row number 3 towards the back there. Look at him to the outside now. He is in the podium position, going for second to the outside of Max Steck, now back to 1.
Ryan Bloom quickly opening up about a half second already on Gabriel Ellison, who is under pressure by the Chevrolet of Max Steck down to the inside. Can he get there? No, he cannot. As now Ellison starts to pull away, man. On the invert, Ellison, fastest man climbing through the field. What a job for the man there in the 3rd place in race 1. And look at him already up 4 spots.
Yeah, and now here's my question with him riding behind Ryan Bloom. 2 things. 1, tire conservation. Which one of these drivers will have the best tire conservation here for the long run? The last 2 laps, Ryan Bloom has posted the fastest lap of the race in the 21.6 bracket. Will he be able to hold off Gabriel Ellison? Or will clean air come into factor? We've seen, obviously, with these trucks, with how aerodynamically dependent they are, will he be able to hold that clean air, use it to his advantage, or will Gabriel Ellison be able to make a move? Look at the inside here. Michael Sturgill got around Nick Gowen. Now he battles with Toby Ritters. Nearly got into the left rear quarter panel. But back to 1. Oh, they made contact. Toby up into the wall really hard in turn number 3. That more than likely would bring out a yellow, but he keeps it straight. And we're going to have to see if the 23 machine does come to a stop. Will they throw the caution? I don't believe it's going to happen, but that 23 is probably done. If I had to say, that was an extremely hard hit to the outside safer barrier. He does take the tow back to pit road. Clifford's night is over.
Yeah, he just took the tow. What a tough break for Toby Ritters. He is out. Here's can we get a replay of what happened? All the action on the racetrack, still single file. That's the most exciting thing we've seen. Now Sturgill and Steck going at it. Here's a look at Jason. Set it up for us. What happened?
Well, you saw going into turn 1 here. It's going to happen. This is the lap prior. So you're seeing this 23. He's kind of cutting this number 90 off pretty late throughout the center to entry of the corners. Watch the 90. He gets a really aggressive run going down to the corners. Toby keeps pinching him and keeps pinching him. And the 90 has at it. He says, hey, man, I'm here on the inside. They head back off turn number 2. Back to turn 3. The 90 kind of just gets into him a little bit. The 23 comes down a tad bit. The 90, I think, just tried to set him up to basically get that wider arc. But the 90 of Michael Sturgill just barely and accidentally made contact with that number 23 of Clifford. So, I mean, nobody's really at fault, just a racing deal. I understand what the 23 was doing, and at the same token, I understand what the number 90 of not Michael Garone, but rather Michael Sturgill was doing there heading into turn 3. So nobody at fault, just a racing incident, short track racing at its finest.
No, I agree. Honestly, serious, Jason Sturgill was really a fast machine, and he gave plenty of room to Ritters, and he bumped him a couple of times racing-wise to say, hey, man, you're kind of holding me up here, and I'm ready to go. And then finally that last little bump draft just kind of went wrong. The way he rubbed him, and he put him in the fence, and it's a tough break for Clifford, Toby Ritters. But anyhow, back to the action. Already 12 laps in, it'll be 13 in this time by. It is Ryan Bloom in the lead, and as I say that, Jason, he has already pulled away by almost a second on that man, Gabriel Ellison, and here comes the third place truck. There he is, Michael Sturgill Jr., right there in that third position.
Yeah, look at Gabriel Ellison, though. He was a little bit faster than Ryan Bloom last time around by about 0.05 of a second, rather. Back to 3 and 4 now. This 27 machine slowly trying to reel him in. He's only back by 0.75 of a second, so this 27 definitely could get it done. What can we see, though, out of that 22? We saw him kind of fall off there, Wesley, in the second half of race number 1. Will he do the same thing? He still is not as fast as Gabriel Ellison, but the gap still remains the same, around 0.75 of a second. Will Ellison be able to catch Bloom? We're just going to have to find out. Obviously, always the possibility of at least one caution like we saw in the first race.
In the 3 and 4, 15 in already. I think a lot of people might have thought that incident right there would have drew a caution of what happened with Toby Ritters, obviously on lap number 6, but it did not take place. 34 to go at the line, and again, here comes now Max Steck and Goen. They battle. This is for 4th. Race 1 winner, 6 wins on the season. Nick Goen trying to get to the front. At about 0.75 of a second now between Ryan Bloom and Gabriel Ellison. And there's Max Steck and Goen. And they're still single file down that back straightaway. Jason, anybody got anything for Ryan Bloom? That's the question here, man. We talked about how competitive and how good of a truck Bloom usually is on the invert. He's taking advantage of it right now, and he's up in front.
Yeah, I would say probably give it till about 15 laps to go. That's when you're probably going to see if Ryan Bloom or Gabriel Ellison are faster out of the two of those guys. So we're going to have to see. That time around, Bloom was in a 22.329. Ellison was only faster by about 4 to 3 thousandths of a second, so they're pretty equal on speed, but Bloom has been able to pull out another 10th or so over these last few laps. Really surprised to see that out of this 22, but again, the clean air means so much for these race trucks here. They're so aerodynamically dependent. We've stressed on it time and time again here on these broadcasts, and it's just a thing that you really hear a lot with these drivers in their post-race interviews. Hey man, what did you need? Oh, well, clean air would have been nice. Well, yeah, no kidding, because the guy with clean air isn't affected by that dirty air like Gabriel Ellison is. So Ryan Bloom is living the dream right now. Really surprised, though, by the fact that Nick Goen hasn't been able to get up towards the front. Obviously, dirty air, again, definitely a factor for him, but starting towards the back of this field has been definitely really hard to pass. So far, it's definitely been a struggle for Nick Goen in race 2.
Max Steck, Nick Goen. And that's that battle, single file right now, closing in on halfway in a couple of more laps. Ryan Bloom still the leader, still about close to a second back is Gabriel Ellison, Michael Sturgill Jr. third. Then you got these guys going at it in 4th and 5th. That's Max Steck and Nick Goen. Then you got Michael Garone Jr. Brad Rivers, by the way, on pit road. Something going on with the 15.
Very interesting to see that number 15 machine in. He actually started at the back of this field initially. I don't know happening or what, but he has been back there and obviously in the pits. I believe he's out right now there. And now he's actually in the pits. I believe he is out of the truck, or at least taking some kind of damage repair. Maybe we can get an update on the 15 here. Something possibly could have happened here as they head back down the back straightaway. Looking at Nick Goen going for that 4th place spot on Max Deck, and he will take it over off 4th.
Going on the outside, Max Deck though going to try to battle back. Honestly, this is the best battle on the racetrack right now at Richmond. We're seeing for 4th and 5th. Back into turn 1, going in Steck. Continuing to watch this battle. Ryan Bloom, the leader. The interval still the same between Bloom and Ellison. Sturgill the 3rd. Right here, these guys are going at it. Got a couple of trucks that have pitted. Brad Rivers were on the pit lane. He's back out on the racetrack, but he is a handful of laps down, or at least 4 laps down now. And Toby Ritters, again, the most exciting action of the night so far, involved in an incident, Jason, and then he had to tow out. I think he wanted to try to get a caution. The caution wouldn't fall.
Yeah, it's been really interesting, obviously, to see. And, I mean, so far in this race, you know, no cautions, obviously. In race number 1, we saw that one caution towards the end of the race, obviously. Toby Ritters could have brought out the caution here in race number 2, but he was off the racing circuit. So, we'll have to see. 20 laps to go now. Gabriel Ellison, another 10th loss to Ryan Bloom. It's now about a second to them. Maybe they can get another caution. Maybe something will happen to somebody. We're just going to have to find out here in these last 20 laps.
There is Gabriel Ellison. He's in that 2nd position down, 30 in, 20 to go. And Rivers has just got out. Brad Rivers out of the race. He'll join Toby Ritters out on lap number 6. Rivers out on lap 24. Under 20 to go now. There's the leader, flag to flag. Ryan Bloom, if he wins it, Ryan Bloom will get his 5th win. He'll join on the 2nd of the all-time winners of the year, behind Nick Gowen, who has 6. Ryan Bloom will have 5. Yes, if he pulls it off. And then you'll have Michael Sturgill with 4. But again, Jason, Sturgill, he's just made a piston. At 90 needs to do. Yeah, has he won a handful of times this year? Almost, yes, 4 wins. But he's been consistent in all of the races of finishing on the podium, top 5, top 3s, top 10. And because of that, that is why he has such a stranglehold lead on everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Sturgill's been doing such a great job this season, being consistent in everything. I mean, you look at his stats right now. I mean, he has got this championship pretty much locked up. He's got over a 200-point gap. But you look at his season stats. 20 starts, right? This was after, or before the start of tonight's races, obviously. 20 starts, 1 pole, 4 wins, 19 top 5s, 20 top 10s. It's been a great season for him, obviously. And he's completed a majority of the laps so far. Been a great season for Michael Sturgill, who is by far the most consistent man all season long. The only one in the 20s with top 10s, and he's about to break into the 20s with top 5s in the category, obviously, after here tonight, if he were to stay in the top 5. It's been a great run for Michael Sturgill so far this season. He's continuing that, trying to bring it home here in just 3 weeks to bring home that championship after Chicago.
Closing in on the finish of this one. Coming around 3 and 4 this time by Ryan Bloom. 12 to go. Remember, next Tuesday night we are off for the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series. They will take off. Come back in 2 weeks. Daytona and Chicagoland. The final 2 races of the season. Champions will be crowned. Bragging rights will be settled. And obviously, we'll tip a cap on winner. And we'll see what's to come in those final races. No doubt they should be exciting, and obviously as Ryan Bloom comes to 10 to go, Jason as well, those tracks are so different in their own configuration, and the if you will, personality that these racetracks provide is going to make it highly entertaining when we go there in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, obviously, there at Daytona and Chicago. Two tracks that are so fun to watch for sure, no doubt about it. And then Chicagoland, such a great track to run on the mile and a half. It's multi-groove. You can run the bottom, you can run the middle, you can run the top. It's so fun to go there. Definitely looking forward to those tracks here in the next 3 weeks for sure.
Going to be a good one. Single digits now for Ryan Bloom. Coming to 8 to go at the line. There is going. Can he run down Sturgill here in the late rally? By the way, there has not been a caution flag like we saw in race 1. And nobody has came down to the pit lane except for those drivers that had problems early of Ritters and Rivers. Real quickly, before we get to the end of this thing, Virginia811.com race summary so far. And there you see it, big old fat goose eggs on the board. Why? Well, no cautions, no caution laps as well. And there has been nobody, Jason Rockefeller, that has been around the 22 of Ryan Bloom. And the 22 is on the home stretch of picking up win 5 of the year if he can hold them off.
Yeah, he's just got to hang out now for 6 more laps. He's getting really loose, though, off the corners. Just keep the tires on it, bring it on home. That 22 machine looking really good. Just got to hold him off here for a few more laps.
Being inconsistent, doing everything that he needs to do. That's exactly the strategy that he provided. Five laps to go. Now make it 4 remaining when they come to the line. Ryan Bloom in the lead. You know, Jason, and I say this repetitively, and I want to sound like a broken record, but you think of guys like Ryan Bloom, this is just building the repertoire and the resume for him when they go back into action with the Northwest Series this year to make a run for a championship. A former Northwest ARCA Series champion in 3 at the line.
Yeah, definitely, obviously. Remember, we talked about it. These two drivers that we've been covering now for so long, both Ryan Bloom and Toby Ritters, the more track time, the better it makes them as a driver. I've said it before, I've been told in the sim, the more seat time makes you a better driver. We're seeing just that. It's definitely going to make them probably threats for this year's Northwest Division, and no matter what series they run for that class, it's going to be interesting to see here. As Ryan Bloom, 2 laps to go. Gabriel Ellison, though, starting to close. Will he have enough time? We're going to have to see. Just a lap and a half to go.
To the home stretch we go. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. CRN 1 to go. Ryan Bloom looking for win number 5. Jason, as he works the back straightaway for the final time in the 22 Chevrolet.
Great driving by Ryan Bloom all night long, and off turn number 4, he is going to add another win to the resume for him here on iRacing. He will win here at the Richmond Raceway for the Virginia is for Lovers Twin 50s. Great drive out of Ryan Bloom in the Monster Energy Silverado. Definitely what he needed, and like you said, Wesley, that will be his 5th win of the season. Great driving for the driver, the number 22.
Yeah, he'll now go to the 2nd on the winners list this year. Joining Nicholas Goldman with 6. 5 wins now for Ryan Bloom. 4 wins now for Michael Sturgill. Everyone else has got a couple of wins, including Gabriel Ellison, of course, Rhett Tucker, and everyone else with Uno wins, including Bradley Rivers and Toby Ritters, as well as Andrew Miller. So there is the results right there. Ryan Bloom picking up the win over Gabriel Ellison. Michael Sturgill will again get a podium. Again, a good points night for third. Nicholas Gowen, race 1 winner, will go for fourth. Max Steck, Michael Garone Jr., all on the lead lap. But of course, the men that are out of the race several laps down, including Bradley Rivers and Toby Ritters. Hey, coming up, we'll wrap this up fast, and we get the top 3. Richmond Raceway, Virginia is for lovers, and the winner is Ryan Bloom, one of our friends of the Northwest. We grab him next. Welcome back to Richmond Raceway, and we are in the books for race number 2 of the Virginia is for Lovers. All right, let's grab Ryan Bloom. Ryan, win number 5 of the year, man. Congratulations. Obviously, a good run here at Richmond on the invert, and I kind of had a feeling it was going to be that way for you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was completely different than the first race. Felt like a completely different setup. Yeah, I just could never kind of get the feel for it. And starting in the back, I looped around in qualifying, so I ended up starting last in that first race. And what a difference clean air makes. So that's about all there is to it. Yeah, I thought I slipped up there at the end, got a little tight, almost hit the wall coming off 2, and thought Gabriel might catch me there at the end, but yeah, I'll take it.
And Ryan, congratulations, man, on your win. And I've been saying it, and I just want to hear it from you myself, because from what I remember, I thought you used to tell us that you did not like short tracks, and you come here tonight, finish towards the back in race number 1, you come here in race number 2, and you set the world on fire, leading pretty much every single lap and taking home the win, man.
I don't know if I've come to like. I mean, I was never all that great at short tracks when I first started, but no, I like short tracks a lot. Maybe the super speedways you're thinking of. No, I like short tracks. It's usually pretty good tracks for me. I won a couple in the Northwest Series last year in the short tracks. So, yeah, I really enjoy the short tracks and the braking off throttle time compared to some of the bigger tracks. So, yeah, I usually can hold my own on these tracks.
Ryan, is it going to be good to have a week off next week and then reset for those final 2 races at Daytona and Chicagoland, and segue that to thank you your sponsors?
Yeah, I think so. I think the numbers are dwindling on here. I think maybe everyone's kind of get ready for the season to be over. I'm not sure. I kind of had my off week last week, wasn't able to make it. So yeah, it'll be good to another Daytona wild card race and hopefully get a better turnout there. And I think we have one more to finish it off. So yeah, a little break never hurts anyone. So just kind of looking forward to finishing out the season strong. And as far as sponsors goes, just want to thank you guys, LSRTV, for broadcasting, Sim Racer Hub, and Clinton for putting this on.
There you go. There's the thoughts of Ryan Bloom. Win number 5 of the year for the driver, the Monster Energy, number 22, back here at Richmond. All right, let's go to Gabriel Ellison. And Gabriel, another runner-up finish, man. You'll finish in second. Your take of race number 2 compared to race 1. And obviously, again, I know that you really were trying so hard to make a run to run down Ryan Bloom, but just kind of ran out of time. And obviously, a lot cleaner, different race than race 1 for sure.
Yeah, it went about as well as I think it could have went for me. Getting through the traffic pretty early on. I got some help because the P2 driver wanted the LL because he had pedal issues, so I got to skip a row. So that really helped up the initial start. That was some good luck. But yeah, I got to P2 fairly quickly, and Ryan had about the same gap the entire time, give or take a couple tenths. Yeah, we were pretty much running the exact same pace the whole time. I tried some different lanes, trying to go high, go low, yada yada, but couldn't really figure anything out. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll take P2.
And Gabriel, obviously, man, finishing P2 tonight. I know it's frustrating, but Ryan said it. Clean air makes a huge difference. Do you feel like that's the difference between you and him here tonight? Because I mean, he had clean air all night long. You were right behind him. Is that really what led to you finishing second?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say what it would be like the other way because I didn't have clean air the whole night, so I don't really know how different it feels. But it's almost always a benefit. So I'm sure he wasn't mad about having clean air.
All right. Well, Gabriel, man, we'll let you go before we do. Thank your sponsors. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Daytona.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Thanks to Aspiration Homes on the truck, as well as SimRacerHub.com. And a huge shout to you guys for putting on this broadcast. And Clinton Sneed, hopefully we'll have him back on the track soon.
There you go. There's the thoughts again of the driver of course, Gabriel Ellison. He has, again, a total of 50 career wins. He's looking to try to get up another win before the season rolls out. Again, a runner-up here in race 2 at Richmond. All right, let's grab Michael Sturgill again. Another podium for the number 90. Consistency continues. And Michael, are you ready for this week off break, man, before you try to wrap it up and put it in the bed here at Daytona and Chicagoland? Let's be honest. I think you've already won the championship like easily.
Yeah, break's always nice. Yeah, I think you're right. I think probably pretty well locked up unless we get some really giant fields the next couple weeks. But I don't know. We lost a bunch of people after the first break, so maybe we'll gain a bunch of people after this one, even it out some.
And Michael, congratulations on finishing P3 here tonight, man. And with that being said, obviously you look forward to Daytona here in 2 weeks' time. How do you feel like that race is going to play out? Because we've seen it go a bunch of different ways with how unpredictable that track can be.
Yeah, hopefully we can run it like we did Talladega, but this time have Nick pushing me to the win. I don't know. It depends really how many guys we get in that race. Kind of interested to see how it works out if we have a smaller field. Hopefully it's calm and clean, but you know how Daytona is. I doubt it'll be that. It'll probably be mayhem like it always is.
Well, Michael, before we let you go, man, thank your sponsors, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Daytona for sure. Enjoy the week off.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for broadcasting this thing. Clinton and all the admins that put it on, and everyone at Eons Motorsports, and Moscow Joe's on the truck, and everyone watching. I think that's got it covered.
There you go. Well, there's the thoughts again of the driver, Michael Sturgill. Another 2 great races and podiums for the number 90 on next week. We're off. Remember, Daytona coming up in 2 weeks, Chicagoland. Oh, and by the way, don't forget that this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on LSRTV, LSR Gaming X presents the Road to the 500 from Daytona. Trucks on Friday night, Xfinity on Saturday, and the Cup race will be on Sunday. That again will be at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Friday and Saturday. Sunday will be at 8 Eastern, 7 Central for the races. Again, this weekend, the LSR Gaming X, Justin Johnson, and the Road to the 500. Jason, always fun working with you, my friend. Your final take of Richmond, brother, and obviously we'll all enjoy a nice week off next Tuesday.
Yeah, great racing here tonight at Richmond. I'm looking forward to Daytona in 2 weeks. We're going to see, obviously, how that plays out. It's been a fun time, obviously, calling these events over these past few weeks. I'm ready to see how it actually ends up here within these next 3 weeks. Should be fun for sure.
Always a fun time. And of course, you can check out Sim Racer Hub Challenge on the social media worlds of Facebook and Discord, all that good stuff. And of course, at LSRTV on Facebook, X, Instagram. For Rocket Racing Media, Jeff Stabdow and Mr. Charles Wooten pressing the buttons for Jason Rockefeller. This is Wesley Outland. Congratulations again to Nick Gowen. And of course, also Ryan Bloom. Winners tonight at Richmond in Virginia. It's for racing lovers.